I just had one question.
Okay.
I was at the Greenberg Nature Center yesterday, and we're going to be putting at the, probably at Veteran Park, a compost site for, to have source separation, organic recycling. I know that Margaret Goldberg at the Nature Center has been talking to you, and I sort of thought that this would be really a unique opportunity for your company to be sort of a leader in the effort to promote organic recycling. If you could have compost site, on site only for your tenants, because it would motivate, other businesses, probably around the region to also promote organic recycling. That could actually reduce the waste by like a third. If we could get everybody, New York City is doing it now. And if we could do it in Greenberg, and if everybody would do it, we could really save a ton of money. Wondering if you're receptive to that.
I did go and see Margaret.
You anticipated this question, I'm sure.
I did. Well, I did probably. But I did go see Margaret, and we came out to the site and walked around and did understand that what you're talking. My words, it's taking refuse, wet refuse, and sand and making topsoil. That's
right.
That's basically what happens. It can be done in a sandbox. It can be done in a very big commercial way. Each individual owner of property will need to make that decision. For example, we talked about BMR and Regeneron, and they might want to do something, and they might want to do it over here on the other side of the road. What I don't have answered for myself, speaking only for myself, is she told me it didn't smell, and there are not a lot of trucks and that sort of stuff. What she did say is that when you put sand and garbage together, it takes 3 months, it heats up to 150 degrees, and you have topsoil in 3 months. I think that's marvelous. We do, anticipating your question, there is a solution that's a little more global here, and what you can see, the Sawmill River runs down this way. The land actually goes to the other side, and there's a right-of-way through Con Ed to get back here. That might be a great place to put it. And it could serve, I'll call it the greater community or the landmark community. It's something that needs to be integrated into the site planning process. It needs to be understood. I know you're going to do it at the swimming pool.
Right.
So I'm interested to come and see what actually happens. I know the theory, and I know what I've been told, and I'm sure it's true, but I would like to see it.
That's reasonable.
But yeah, I think, there are a whole host of things that we're evolving to that can be good for us, good for society, and also can manage costs in a creative and constructive way. So we're certainly not opposed to that.
That's great. I just want to mention that, we're going to, when I met with, Margaret, last week, and, and the Commissioner of Public Works, it was really, very exciting, and it's not that expensive. I think some of the, you could do it for, it's like in the $1,000, $2,000 range for small projects, and it could be like $10,000 for, larger ones. And I think that if you take a look at it, I think it would be good. And I also think, the property, is distinguished as really being almost like a Hudson Valley, destination point, where it's the Hudson Valley capital of biotech, the biotech industry, and the biotech industry is so forward-thinking and so progressive that promoting organic recycling and source separation at the site and leading by example, I think fits into what property is all about.
I think I totally agree with you. The other thing is, and I talked to Margaret about this, if it were set up and it worked and it wasn't, you can do it in a sandbox or whatever the right size is, you really want your landscape to do it because you're creating topsoil, and the topsoil will be actually used on the property, continue to maintain it as they go and look for it. And so I get all of that. And it's just a matter of finding the place, understanding what it is, and then understanding how it gets done, and then appreciating that big tax credit you're going to give me for doing it. That was a joke.
Okay.
We know.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
It actually can reduce some of your costs though, because
Yeah.
you're not carting
Yeah, you're
refuse
reducing,
away
yeah. And, yeah, you work, I think the key would be to work with your landscaper, because they need the material at the end of the day. As Margaret explained, there are places that actually do this on a big commercial way, sell the topsoil and make money, and it's a real business. So